So I just took a bunch of raw liver, B vitamins, and ate a whole ribeye. So now I'm gonna take some Betadine, HCl, and caffeine. About 2, 4, 6, 3.5 grams of Betadine and 300 milligrams plus a little bit of caffeine. It's gonna feel great. And then I'll get into today's video. I just wanted to include this because it's all part of everything. Anyway, too, if you're like, this guy take a bunch of caffeine before he started this video? Yes, I did. You saw me. So, anyway. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, this video is called Not Dead, Can't Quit. Or Can't Quit, Not Dead. And it's about this movie Everest I saw. Wait, I gotta text my brother that I'm on my way. Okay, so this video movie I saw yesterday, Everest. Just watched it with my wife, and in the movie there's two characters. This guy Beck, and then there's Rob Hall. Rob Hall being the much more experienced mountaineer who is leading adventure consulting, mountaineering adventures. So Beck, I also took vitamin D with the liver, because like vitamin D and liver go like, and a little bit of chlorella. Only 3 tablets of chlorella, but it all goes together really well. I drink a bunch of water, it's some green tea, it's gonna digest very well, and having that digestion in tandem with the absorption of all the vitamins with like the timing of the stimulants after, whoa, it's awesome. I'll just briefly touch on that. So you wake up in the morning, and I'll just walk through exactly what I did. So woke up in the morning, and then I guess like 30 minutes after waking up, I took some theobromine. I took 20 milligrams of Adderall, which I'm prescribed, and that's extended release for the nerds out there. So then while that was kind of kicking in, I ate some raw liver, which I minced up really fine. And I had that with some green tea, and then I had the ribeye, and then I had the vitamin D. I think I had B vitamins actually before the ribeye, then I had the ribeye, vitamin D, 4 B vitamins, so it's like 4 000 capsules of B complex. And then I really like the B complex. It's just very good for energy production. I think it might be my wife. Yeah, it is my wife. So basically, yeah, so I took that, a little bit of magnesium, salt, etc., because that stuff is very, very useful for metabolizing food. Like having like a little bit of magnesium with a meal actually can aid digestion, I've found. So then basically just the Betadine and the caffeine you saw. But basically though, all the vitamins and food that I ate this morning is gonna sit in my gut. That's the Betadine making me burp. So all it's gonna sit in my gut, and what's gonna happen is my body is going to break it down, and the stimulants, because I had them after eating, kind of in tandem with eating, they'll basically, like, my body will absorb the stimulants through the digestion of the food, which kind of furthers the digestion of the food. I really feel it, like it'll digest very quickly. And it'll just be in a very heightened metabolic state with a lot of energy and an empty gut, which is good because you don't want your gut being full of food, because fermenting food, endotoxin, no bueno. So back to the movie though. So there's 2 characters, there's Beck and there's Rob Hall. Rob Hall, I looked him up after because he's like very famous mountaineering person. And like the whole moral of the movie though, or at least in my mind, is like not dead, can't quit. Can't quit, not dead. Like, this guy Rob Hall just quit, like, for lack of a better word, on the side of Everest. Like, the guy just quit. And like, if you're looking at me, Rob Hall's ghost right now, like, dude, you quit. Like, you quit, bro. You told your wife while you still had breath in your lungs, I won't be able to make it, baby. My feet are frozen. Well, you know what the other guy, Beck, did with frozen hands. Hands are frozen solid. He just woke up. They left him for dead in the side of the mountain, around the same location as Rob. Maybe there's some more stuff for Rob to get through. But anyway, this guy, like, he just, in the movie, I have to, like, look into this. But I talked to John Krakauer, actually, when I was 13. So I actually talked to John Krakauer about that scene. Funny enough, I just, like, ran into the guy at the Kittery Trading Post, and he was, like, missing all his fingers. Well, most of his fingers. I don't think he had a single full finger on him, but talked to him. He was really cool. And I remember talking to him, like, about, like, why didn't he, like, go back for people and stuff. And he was just, like, looking at me. He was like, dude, you can't go back for people. Like, you're just gonna die. Like, so this guy, Rob, I'll break it down. So the guy, Rob, goes back with this guy, Doug. And the guy, Doug's just a moron. Like, I'm just going to be very candid, because if you're, like, I fully believe that everyone has the right to do something stupid and get themselves killed. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing that we all have the right to do something stupid and get ourselves killed. So, but also, though, you have the right to be called a moron for doing something stupid and getting yourself killed. That is also simply, or just dying. Like, they all got to go together. So, like, respect for the dead. And if the dead die respectfully, in, like, a respectable manner, I mean, I'm not going to, like, I'm not trying to, like, trash people's dead hikers' memories. I'm more just, like, trying to save future hikers who need to, like, you need to understand, like, if you die stupidly, people will look at you after you've died and think, that guy was an idiot. Like, this is something you have to be aware of. And, like, my mom always told me growing up, she's like, Devin, if you die, I'm going to electrocute you back to life and then kill you. So I always had this very... the car just like explode right now, and he just kept me on camera like, gotta keep myself from dying. That would be, but I wouldn't fucking die though. I'm not gonna fucking die. Fuck that shit. That's, try not to swear, but definitely not dying. So anyway though, like, this guy, so like, he calls his wife, like, the first day. They patch him through to his wife. He's talking to his wife via, like, the walkie-talkie, hooked up to, like, a cell phone, satellite phone, whatever. He's talking to his wife, and she's just like... And then, like, he sleeps out on Everest the whole night. Just like, and then, like, he comes to the next day. And then he's still... Like, he still, like, doesn't try to get down the mountain. Like, he's just, like... And he's, like, telling his wife, like, yeah, baby, not gonna make... I'm like, first of all, like, what the... Like, I can't imagine, like, he's laying there in the movie. Like, you gotta watch the movie to really understand this. He's, like, laying there in the movie. He's like, my hands and feet are frozen. I'm gonna die. Like, yo, you be here. I told my wife, I looked over, like, yo, you be here, and if you were on the phone with me, be doing Wim Hof breathing. Like, I'd just be like... And okay, so I want to qualify this by saying, like, this has really been, like, the question of my life in some real sense. Like, would I, like, I've put myself through some crazy circumstances to figure out if I'm the sort of person who would or would not quit in that circumstance. And I gotta say, like, I'm not the sort of dude who would quit. Like, I'm just not that guy that quits. I'm just not. Like, I know that internally. Like, I am not the fucking dude who just, sorry babe, not gonna be able to see my daughter, my unborn daughter that I impregnated you with before I hiked up Everest. Cause like they would find me frozen solid, walking down the mountain, flipping everyone off. Like, they would find, like, I would be the guy that's, like, fucking frozen solid at the South Summit, flipping everyone off on the way, like freeze solid going forward. Like, you can fall forward and then get yourself back up and then fall forward again. Like, I don't understand this. So this guy Beck, or Deck, or whatever his name was, probably look it up because I have a lot of respect for the dude. He's like, same situation almost. He just gets up, doesn't overthink it, and just walks down Everest with his hands frozen solid, and then gets helivaced I think the movie said it was the highest they've ever flown a helicopter up Everest. It's hell-of-acto. Like, what the actual heck? Like, I don't understand. Like, I get it, actually. I do kind of. I mean, like, you can't really let yourself get it. It's like, not dead, can't quit. Can't quit, not dead. Can't quit, not dead. The other guy overthought it. Like, he was just like, oh, it's statistically impossible for me to make it down the mountain. The other guy just got up. It was just like, not dead, can't quit. Just went down. Like, you just gotta, like, go down the mountain. Like, I do not like, it's just like, it's crazy. Like, I can't help but, like, wonder, like, I'm like, did his wife, like, cheat on him or something? And this is, like, his revenge was, like, dying on Everest, or, like, that's not acceptable. That's just not acceptable behavior. This is fundamentally the way I was raised, is this is not acceptable behavior. Like, I just hear my mom being like, I don't care if your feet are frozen fucking solid. Walk down the goddamn mountain. Like, how are these people raised? I don't understand this. Like, it is perfectly acceptable to die falling off the side of Everest. It's actually not acceptable. It's more acceptable to die falling off the side of Everest than it is to just sit down and just quit. Like, you just lay down and just die. That's so pathetic. Like, here's what I can't understand. I can't understand telling your wife that you're quitting. Like, this woman who's carrying your genetic material, unless it's not your genetic material, telling this woman who's carrying your genetic material, unless it's not yours, that you're just quitting. Sorry, babe, you've got a quitter's DNA in your belly right now. I know I can still breathe and operate a walkie-talkie, but I'm just gonna quit on you because, like, my feet hurt. You know what you would hear me doing down the mountain? Ah! I just scream the whole time. I just be walking down screaming. Like, what do you mean your feet are frozen? Like, I would just, like, even if I knew I was gonna die, I would be like, I'm gonna walk down this mountain until I find a Yeti, and I'm gonna kill the Yeti with the knife that's always in my pocket, and I am gonna burrow into its flesh like Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. Like, it doesn't even have to make sense. It just has to make you take the next step. What the heck? Like, even if you get up and you take a step and then die, at least your wife should know you took a gosh darn step. What is this? Like, what is this? Like, you're just telling everyone that you're giving up? Like, just, like, not even like, I don't even know how I'm gonna make it, but I'm gonna fucking make it. I think you just die. But at least they're waiting for you. Like, at least there's some degree of, like, maybe he's gonna make it. Like, why would you tell everyone that you're not gonna even try? Because then you're telling them that it's acceptable to not even try. It's not. Because you could succeed. Like that guy who didn't overthink things and just walked down Everest. Like, if you have the goddamn strength to stay out on Everest overnight, and then operate a walkie-talkie, you have the goddamn strength to walk down the fucking mountain. Or at least try. Like, I do not understand this not trying BS. Like, it's like The Revenant. I still haven't seen that movie, even though I talk about the story behind the movie a lot. Probably should watch that movie. But, like, the guy that movie is based on, I remember studying him in AP US history. He had his intestines, like, torn out by a bear. And then he dragged himself, like, 20 miles through the goddamn wilderness to civilization. Like, I do not understand this, like, quitting nonsense. It's just... I think that's, like, the whole point of the Navy SEALs, is they just want to find people that just won't quit. Because people just quit in, like, droves. Like, there's just a lot of quitters out there who, even if they, like, could make it down, they're just, I just gotta quit, babe. I just gotta quit on you, pregnant wife. I have to quit on you. I need to tell you that I'm quitting on you so that you can know that while I was dying, my last thought wasn't, I will make it back to my wife no matter what. It was, I'm quitting. I'm gonna quit. That's why I'm like, I feel like his wife probably committed adultery on him and he was just doing that for revenge, because like, why else would you just quit? It's like, yeah, my body's gonna stay out on Everest every night. I'd rather just like be frozen on Everest forever than come back and be your husband because you committed adultery on me. Like, that's just what I feel like it is. It's just some BS. Like, that's some gosh darn BS right there. Like, you're gonna quit? You're gonna quit. Like, you're gonna, like, lay there. And, like, let's, like, not cut this guy. Let's not, like, let's be objective here. Like, why would he do that? Let's put ourselves in his shoes. Because it's a lot fucking easier to lay on your back and die than it is to get up and fucking try to walk. It's just easier. Okay, I'll tell a story. So I was out in the mountains when I was 13 years old. That's crazy. It's actually around the same year I met John Krakauer. Yeah, I was out in the mountains. I was 13 years old. I was out on like a multi-day hiking trip. My cousin's Boy Scout troop. And we're out in the mountains. And I have a life-threatening nut allergy. Like, it's horrible. And everyone on the trip supposedly knew I had a life-threatening nut allergy. And, because of this, my cousins, Boy Scout troop, being the high IQ people they are, decide to make pancakes with cashews in them and feed them to me. Yeah, they just made pancakes with cashews in them and they fed them to me. Despite the fact that, like, I got notified everyone on the trip. I was like, I like really went to like great pains to like let everyone know that I had a life-threatening nut allergy. And they make pancakes with cashews in them and feed them to me. So I'm out there, I don't know, 20 miles away from civilization, in the mountains of New Hampshire, no cell phone reception, nothing. Like, I'm just out in the middle of the boonies. It's gonna be at least like a day hike before we get anywhere. Before it'd be like an 8-hour walk back to civilization. That's like booking it. So I'm just out there in the mountains going into anaphylactic shock. And earlier, the day before, they've been joking. Again, this is the degree to which I knew that they were aware that I had this nut allergy. They were joking that if I went into anaphylactic shock, they would have to perform an emergency tracheotomy on me. They had to stab a ballpoint pen through my trachea. My trachea, it's right here. They're gonna stab a ballpoint pen through my trachea. That was these geniuses' great plan. The day before, they gave me the, like, nut. They're like, yeah, Devin, I guess if you went into anaphylactic shock because you ate nuts, we'd have to stab a ballpoint pen through your trachea. It's about 6 hours later, 8 hours later, they're like, here, Devin, do you want to have some pancakes? And I eat the pancakes. They're like, oh, there's like fucking cashew in the pancakes. So I start going into anaphylactic shock. And I'm just like sitting there at the age of 13 in the mountains. And I'm like, I can't like tell these people that I'm going into anaphylactic shock. Because I'm 13, I can't fight them all off yet. Now I could, easily. I made sure to develop those skills because of various life experiences I've had. So when I'm like, I had to become good at fighting and carry a knife on me at all times. Like, there's a goddamn reason for that. So I'm going into anaphylactic shock in the mountains. My throat, it was closing over the course of like 2 hours. It was taking a while for my throat to close. So the first thing I did was make myself puke up everything I'd ate. My throat's still closing though. And I'm just like hiking and I'm trying to like, they're kind of like, Devin, you don't look like you're handling the hike so well. I'm fine. So I go out in the woods, I'm just stabbing myself with these EpiPens. I think I went through like 2 EpiPens. I'm like slapping myself by a stream, trying to get the anaphylactic shock to go away. And after 2 EpiPens and slapping myself a few times, it does go away. I fucking thank God. And I just went back and rejoined everyone and just started hiking. And I just think I just ate only my beef jerky for the rest of the trip. I didn't eat anything else that they had. But yeah, like, I'm just like not dead, can't quit. Like, what am I gonna do? Fucking die of anaphylactic shock in the mountains? That's really stupid. Like, that's a stupid way to die. I mean, I did have EpiPens on me. I actually carry them now just because, like, I don't want to make it easy for myself to die. Like, that's just not I started having kids, and then like my kids were around people, the people they were around had nuts, and I'm like, I just don't want my kids to like pick up a nut and like rub it on my face and then I die. That would make me feel really stupid. So I've taken precautions to make sure that that does not occur. But again, back to this movie. Can't quit, not dead. Like, you're just gonna die? That's so pathetic. Like, at least fall off the mountain like a man. Like, they would be like, okay, I'll put it this way. Like, if I die in the mountains, people are gonna be like wondering what random herd of wolves, like what pack of wolves killed me. Would be like, did Russians like come in? Like, did he owe money to the Russians or something? Were there Yetis? Not like, oh yeah, Devin Young just he just died on the side of Everest. Oh well, what Yeti killed him? No, it wasn't a Yeti. Well, like he probably like blood loss. No, it wasn't even bleeding. So what gives? He just laid there and died like a bitch. Like, I went through high school wrestling, okay? Like, and people be like, oh, you went through high school wrestling. Everyone saying that hasn't been through high school wrestling. You would have quit and puked in the trash can. Like, we had star football players that just puked in the trash can on day 3 and quit. Yeah, not dead, can't quit. Can't quit, not dead. Doesn't matter. Like, you owe it to your bloodline, if they really are your bloodline, to keep going. Because let me just put it this way. Any of y'all listening, if you die on the side of Everest, you just quit like that. I'm gonna probably assume that your wife was committing adultery on you and your kids weren't yours. Cause like, why else would, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like a pretty great guy. Like, I'm pretty non-judgmental, but I'm honest. Like, most people out there are fundamentally dishonest and they will just not tell you what they're thinking. I'll just tell you, cause like, I'm gonna die someday, so like, I don't really, like, I haven't been able to effectively rationalize why I give enough of a shit about other people's opinions to not, like, I would rather die right now than spend my life caring about what other people think about what I say. It just isn't really the life for me. Like, I'm a goddamn American, and I am not gonna live my life worrying about what other people think about what I think. But given that, I'm still going to be very compassionate to people because it's a hard life, and I understand that. Like, life is hard, you know? That guy, Rob Hall, probably understood that he had a 0% chance of making it down. But the other guy, Beck, didn't understand he had a 0% chance of making it down. So he just made it down. Just do it. What the fuck? Like, I'm trying to not swear, but I can't, like, yeah, that's just not okay. Like, you can't just die on your family like that because there's a 0% probability of you making it down alive. Like, that's some pussy-ass shit. That is not the stuff that winners are made out of. I think, actually, my theory is that he probably felt bad that Doug and the other guy who went back for him died. So he probably just, like, couldn't deal with the shame of having lost people, because I think, like, the year before he'd actually turned back so he didn't lose people, and he probably just was like, and then just overthought it, and then, yeah. That's my theory on what happened, but I don't really know. I wasn't there talking to him. But what I do know is can't quit, not dead.